A very good evening to all our viewers and welcome to a brand new edition of News First Weekend coming to you live from our Newsfirst studios in Colombo. I'm Nanayakkara. Let's start off with a look at the stories making headlines this evening.
Meeting between Prime Minister, former Prime Minister, party leaders and the President. Speaker and the JVP decide not to attend. Mayor of Marthale writes to the UNP leader requesting for party leadership to be handed over to SAJITH. Religious observances at Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa's birthday celebrations. Protest in France against increase of fuel prices. England outclassed Sri Lanka in second test.
And now the stories in detail. The all-party meeting with President Maithripala Sirisena concluded a short while ago. Charlotte Benedict joins us now with the details of the latest political developments. Charlotte, over to you.
Thank you very much, Arundhati, and welcome to this special roundup on the current political situation in our country. Now, of course, as you all are well aware, the country has been grappling with a major political crisis during the past few weeks. Now, this has led to the country being stuck in both a political and constitutional deadlock. Some important events unfolded today in the political arena here in Sri Lanka, and we here at News First are ready to update you on the latest that happened. Now, starting off first, the all-party conference convened by President Maithripala Sirisena did take place today at the Presidential Secretariat. Now, the meeting began at about 5 this evening. The meeting was attended by President Maithripala Sirisena, of course, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa and also Ranil Wickremesinghe. Now, the all-party conference, however, ended in a deadlock. President Sirisena, Mahinda Rajapaksa and Ranil Wickremesinghe, of course, attended the event alongside other party representatives. The UPFA and its constituent parties, led by President Sirisena, had requested that any no-confidence motion passed in Parliament should be submitted under the correct parliamentary procedures. Now, however, the United National Front had insisted that there are two possible ways for the passage of a no-confidence motion in Parliament, and that the one they followed is as valid as the one suggested by President Maithripala Sirisena. The UNF therefore insisted that both no-confidence motions that were passed in Parliament against Mahinda Rajapaksa and his government during the course of the past few days were valid. Now, speaking to News First, soon after the meeting, UNP MP Ajith Piperera stated that the UNF was ready to submit 113 signed affidavits tomorrow, proving its majority in Parliament. Now, Uday Gammanpilla, speaking to reporters, said the government would only step down if the opposition manages to pass a no-confidence motion in Parliament under the correct procedures and in a legal manner. Now, it is in what is clearly a political stalemate. The UNF MPs attending the meeting indicated that the party would submit yet again a third no-confidence motion when Parliament convenes at 1 p.m. tomorrow. Now, also following the meeting held at the Presidential Secretariat, of course, Presidential Secretariat, the President's Media Division, I beg your pardon, did issue a media release. Now, the President's Media Unit said in its statement that all parties present at the meeting agreed to conduct parliamentary proceedings in a peaceful manner tomorrow. The release further notes that the President had requested all those present that he required a majority to be shown by name or through electronic votes in order for him to accept a no-confidence motion. Now, according to the statement, President Sirisena had noted that this was essential to win the public as well as the international community, as it was a matter concerning the change of a government in the country. Now, all invited parties attended the meeting except for the JVP, who previously, earlier in the day, said that they will not be attending the meeting chaired by President Maithripala Sirisena that was held this evening. Also following the meeting, the United National Front, its affiliated parties, headed by the United National Party, convened a media briefing at Temple Trees. Now, we are ready to cross over live to the media briefing conducted by the United National Party being held at Temple Trees. Now, these are the live visuals that you are viewing of the United National Party press conference that was convened at Temple Trees.
සිද්ධිදාමයන් කීපෙකුත් වුණා. ඉතින් මෙතුමන්ලා දන්නවා පැහැදිලිව මේ ආණ්ඩුව තුල ඉන්න බෑ මේ බලන්නේ කොහොම හරි කරලා මම අද ලංකාවේ මිනිසුන්ට තියෙන ලොකුම බය මහාධිකරණය මේගොල්ලන්ගේ තියෙන මේ කැත ක්‍රමය අනුව ඒක අල්ලන්නද මේ උත්සාහය කියලා 7 වෙනිදා ඉන්නේ. මම දන්නවා අද ලංකාවේ අධිකරණ ශාස්ත්‍රය ගැන මිනිසුන්ට තියෙන ලොකු ගෞරවයක්. ඒ හරියට තීරණ දෙනවා කියන එක. හැබැයි මේ මිනිස්සු හිතනවා ඇති අර පරණ ක්‍රමේ අර පරණතුමන්ලට පුරුදු ක්‍රමය අනුව අධිකරණයටත් අතපෑන් කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙයි.
This is footage of the UNP press conference that's currently underway at Temple Trees. Now, we will continue to keep you updated on the unfoldings in the political arena of the country, and we have been reporting and we will continue to report in an unbiased manner, adhering, of course, to the media ethics in the country. And we will keep you updated on the political crisis as and when things do unfold. We will bring more details from the press conference that is currently being held at Temple Trees by the United National Party as well. But until next time, it's back to the main news with Arundhati.
Thank you, Shalan, for that update. Now moving on, leader of the JVP, Anura Dissanayaka, expressed his views to the media about their decision to not attend the all-party meeting. JVP has forwarded a letter to the President in this regard.
We have been informed that the President will be holding a meeting to discuss the current situation in the country. We have taken the stance not to attend the meeting. This is due to 5 reasons. Firstly, the President made a plan to make a person who doesn't have the majority in Parliament as the Prime Minister and started appointing ministers and deputy ministers at different times. This led to havoc, and then it led to ministries being brought over. Next, it created an arena to get ministers for money to show up their majority. After that failure, Parliament was dissolved. Then, though the resolution was passed by no confidence motion, he didn't act accordingly. A no confidence motion was presented from our side. From the time this was presented till the end, we acted according to the correct procedure. The Speaker has questioned it, and according to the voices raised for proposing and opposing it, he gave the decision. Now a problem has occurred on how he could do that, but that is there in section 47(1). He can give the result with a voice vote. This was not the first time we exercised it. When we had a limited time to vote for the 18th Amendment to the Constitution, former Speaker Chamal Rajapaksa took the vote by voice. After that, at the time when Minister Karu Jayasuriya was proposing the Right to Information Act, as the opposition minister Chamal Rajapaksa said, he provided the decision according to the voices received from the opposing ministers.
Now, several events were organized this morning in line with Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa's 73rd birthday.
The Prime Minister, along with other politicians and family members, attended an almsgiving earlier today at the Nanayakkara Abhayarama Temple. Following the almsgiving, the Prime Minister obtained blessings from the Mahasangha. Lord Buddha preached, as long as there is meat in the vulture's beak, everyone will peck to get a piece. Similarly, when you let go of power, no one will come behind you. That is the truth. You do not have another position in this country to hold. You have already held all positions, including presidency and the post of Prime Minister. Even though you have held many positions, you still have a country to serve. The solution at this current political impasse is a general election. This issue cannot be resolved according to the existing composition of Parliament. Therefore, the only request the Prime Minister is making is to let the people decide. This is for their own good. Meanwhile, another almsgiving was organized at the Sri Sambodhya Vihare in line with the Prime Minister's 73rd birthday. The almsgiving was for 150 monks. Prime Minister's spouse Shiranti Rajapaksa, former Defence Secretaries Gotabaya Rajapaksa and several other politicians joined this almsgiving. Another event was organized at the Prime Minister's residence in Wijesinghe today to celebrate his 73rd birthday.
We would like to wish Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa a happy birthday.
Mayor of Matale, Duljit Alvihare, has sent a letter to Ranil Wickremesinghe requesting Sanjit Premadasa be appointed as party leader.
In his letter, Dulit Alavihare has commended the UNP leadership from its inception from DS Sinhanayaka to R. Premadasa, pointing out that since Ranil Wickremesinghe being appointed as the party leader in 1994, the leadership has not gained a significant victory for the party or the party supporters, and the letter highlights 11 reasons why the party leadership has failed. These reasons are the party leadership not interacting with the Sri Lankan culture to the required level. Number 2, deterioration of democracy within the party. Number 3, power of the working committee resting only on a selected few. Number 4, leadership not paying attention to the voice of the supporters. Number 5, cabinet ministerial positions not being equally distributed among districts on the 2 occasions the party came to power. Number 6, the absence of a proper program to bring back party members who defected from the party for various reasons. Number 7, not building up party mechanisms at the grassroots level. Selecting individuals such as DM Swaminathan, Tilak Marapana, Malik Samarawickreme and Ashu Marasinghe, who have no sense of the people's sentiments or voter base for high-profile positions of the party. Number 9, not moving into a program to strengthen the party's rural voter base and Sinhala Buddhist sentiment. Number 10, not educating the public about incidents such as the central bank bond scam. And number 11, mismanagement of political situations that arise from time to time. Mayor of Matale, Dulit Aluvihare, concludes his letter by reiterating the importance of directing the country towards a victorious path at this juncture and requests the appointment of Sanjit Premadasa as the party leader, as it is the demand of the majority.
Multi-religious leaders of the country urged the political leaders to let the people make the decisions against the backdrop of the prevailing political crisis of the country.
All religions were represented at the news conference which was organized in Colombo today.
We are very disappointed about our own president, the Prime Minister, opposition leader and the Speaker. As religious leaders of this country, we cannot be patient when we see the behavior of these well-respected, important people of the country. We saw the disgusting incidents that happened in the last few days. Therefore, we urge the president and the other leaders to come together, discuss and hand this over to the people. Now that is taking a vote. The people's mandate can be defined as democracy here. There is no information as to the government had even thought about inquiring the opinion from the religious sector. As the religious leaders of the country, we hope that there would be an opportunity to meet the president, Mahinda Rajapaksa and Ranil Wickremesinghe and the Speaker in one place to have a discussion.
The religious leaders expressed their views furthermore about the prevailing political crisis.
As for the future of the country, as this is a country filled with peaceful people, the status of the country should be secured. The current status is not good. It should be changed. We request the President, the party leaders and the opposition and all MPs to end this current political crisis in the country and work towards the well-being of the country, towards creating good governance which is legal and constitutional.
Now, meanwhile, Navin Dissanayaka, addressing a public gathering organized by the UNP in Nuwara, expressed the following views.
The UNP is not afraid of an election, but if we are to go for an election, we want to proceed under the leadership of our Prime Minister. If not, we would like to inform the President that we would like to go ahead for a presidential election. This is a war that will remain on top of the stone, and we are not going to move an inch. We are armed with swords and the strength of our hands for the fight. We will fight. We won't just leave. I can take you all with me. I invite you all to follow me. I will be fighting atop the stone. I won't leave, because I still believe that I am the Minister of Plantation Industries. We all play games, still we don't know when this will end. We have our suicide kits on and we are ready to detonate them. There are brigadiers at temple trees throughout the day. There are about 1,000 to 2,000 of them armed with suicide kits ready to detonate. We have no problem in detonating them.
Several representatives from the ruling party expressed these views at a media briefing held at the Prime Minister's office today.
The Speaker isn't behaving according to the executive, the law or the constitution. He has been deceived yet again, either by offering to give him the Prime Ministership or to be appointed as the next leader of the UNP. According to the image provided by Susantha Punchinilame, it is evident that there could have easily been a death, therefore Parliament should have been adjourned. Sumantiran and the JVP are to blame for acting according to the whims and fancies of the UNP and plunging the country into crisis. When the power of Ranil Wickremesinghe deteriorates, the power of the JVP and the TNA also reduces. What is the hurry? We are not going to leave Parliament. As the ruling party, we will not have an issue if proper procedure is followed and motions presented in Parliament are entered into the order book. When we take a look at the results of the local government election that was held, it is a sign to say that their 6 seats in Parliament are at risk of reducing to 1 or 2. Even the TNA has a fear of their voter base splitting into 2 in the northeast. The tendentious and partisan acts being carried out by the Speaker should be stopped immediately, and they should act patiently until the final decision is given by the Supreme Court. The rights of the MPs should also be protected.
Senkaragala Balamandala meeting of the Sri Lanka Pudujana Peramuna was held at the Pushpadana Hall in Kandy. Minister Keli Ramukwal expressed these views at the meeting.
There were about 100 seated in the gallery. They had brought thugs from Colombo dressed in suit and made them sit in the gallery. Was it us who did this and made them hoot at the Speaker? The Chief of the EU had called and asked to convene Parliament as soon as possible. I told him in his native language that I have read the Constitution of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka 30 to 40 times, but I couldn't find any clause that says convene Parliament on the instructions of the EU. I said I will read it again, and if it does, then I will give you an answer. Since then he hasn't spoken to me as yet. Sumantiran was the coordinator of all these plans in Parliament. Karu Jayasuriya came with the police yesterday and sat on a corner. The mace was held by a person like a vendor on the street. So was it us who insulted Parliament? It was not us who insulted the Parliament. It was Karu Jayasuriya who pushed us to that point.
Another meeting of the Sri Lanka Pudujana Peramuna was held in Bandaragama today.
Very recently, 16 people joined our side. We used to be united with 54 people. When a decision was taken, all 54 of us would stand behind it. But after these 16 joined, heterogeneous ideas started coming out. Chamal Rajapaksa was the first person to oppose when the news of joining of Maithripala Sirisena and Mahinda Rajapaksa came out. The next person who voiced opinion against this was me. My vote is with Mahinda Rajapaksa, and no one other than him will get it. But now we sit together with the people who agreed with selling off the port. Few ministers have to take up ministerial positions in order to strengthen Mahinda Rajapaksa. He can't do this alone. This is the reason our people accepted ministerial positions even if they were unwilling to. We cannot always fight, quarrel, bring knives and wound each other. We would stop somewhere. We need to make the 113. We are looking at claiming the 113 ourselves, but some people have left us. Some of them didn't just leave. But I'm not going to elaborate on that. They wouldn't just go. The ones who left will have to be brought back in order to have the head count.
රනිල්ට විරුද්ධව අපි දුන්නු විශ්වාස භංග යෝජනාව පාර්ලිමේන්තුවට එනකොට දින කීයක් ගිහිල්ලාද? දින 15ක් ගිහිල්ලා.
How many days has passed when the no confidence motion we brought against Ranil Wickremesinghe was presented to Parliament? 15 to 17 days. How many minutes passed to pass the no confidence motion against Mahinda Rajapaksa despite it being against all rules and regulations? 10 minutes. It's against the law. You might criticize as to why we fought in Parliament. It is an unfair criticism. Instead of lawfully convening Parliament, lawfully bringing in the motion and lawfully passing it, they acted in Parliament as if it was a lawless jungle. At a time like that, we cannot hold our silence and legitimize their actions. If it was the Parliament, we wouldn't have behaved like that. This was not the Parliament. This was a lawless jungle. Is this even a real challenge for him, Venerable Thera? Karu Jayasuriya is no longer the Speaker of Parliament. He has a small problem with his eyes. When Ranil Wickremesinghe was in government, in Parliament, only the right eye of Karu Jayasuriya worked, not the left. If Ranil Wickremesinghe utters a he repeats. After November 26th, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa will sit on the right side. We will accompany him on the right side. Now he can only see out of his left eye. Karu Jayasuriya is thinking if he can be the next presidential candidate. Look where the JVP has gone. If Vijayveera was alive, Vijayveera would have turned in his grave.
A program organized to distribute stationery among school students in the Caspava area was held yesterday. The event was held under the patronage of SLFE organizer for Caspava, attorney at law Rajika Kodituakku.
There are no constant friends nor enemies in politics. The main aim in politics is to hold on to power. However, the status quo in Parliament is completely unacceptable. I do not approve of it as a lawyer and as an organizer. If we do not have 113, we have to let go of power. What is the point of quarrelling? I also do not approve of the behavior of the Speaker. The Speaker should act within his authority. In the recent past, there were 2 no-confidence motions handed over against Ranjith Senaratne and Ravi Karunanayaka respectively. Those have not been entered to the order book as of yet. According to parliamentary tradition, such a no-confidence motion should be entered into the order book and anyone can challenge it within 7 days at the Supreme Court. It is only after 7 days it is taken up for debate in Parliament. The current Speaker has turned so efficient, he was able to take up the no-confidence motion within 24 hours. We do not know to what extent the ties he has to his party has influenced him. However, as law-abiding citizens, we expect procedures to be carried out lawfully.
Tamil National Alliance parliamentarian S. Sridharan expressed these views in Kilinochchi today.
We have no issue with any person being appointed as the Prime Minister by the UNP. It may be SAJITH Premadasa, Karu Jayasuriya, Navin Dissanayaka or Ranil Wickremesinghe. That is a decision that should be taken within the party. Who are we? Who is the Prime Minister? We have no issue as to who is appointed as the leader of that party. We will join hands with whoever is willing to help us fulfill the aspirations of our people.
An event was held at the Ramakrishnan Hall in Vallavatta to commemorate the 125th anniversary of the Chicago speech of Swami Vivekananda.
Swami Vivekananda addressed the world's Parliament of Religions in Chicago in the year 1893. He began his speech with the salutation, "Sisters and Brothers of America." To these words, he got a standing ovation from a crowd of 7,000, which lasted for 2 minutes. Here is an excerpt of that speech.
Sisters and brothers of America. Sectarianism, bigotry, and its horrible descendant, fanaticism, have long possessed this beautiful earth. They have filled the earth with violence, drenched it often and often with human blood, destroyed civilization, and sent whole nations to despair. Had it not been for these horrible demons, human society would be far more advanced than it is now. But their time is come, and I fervently hope that the bell that tolled this morning in honor of this convention may be the death knell of all fanaticism, of all persecutions with the sword or with the pen, and of all uncharitable feelings between persons wending their way to the same goal.
Sports First Allianz Platinum Awards 2018.
I was able to become the national champion during my time competing in sports. The current players are also very talented. Their talent is appreciated through Platinum Awards.
Sports First Allianz Platinum Awards 2018.
And in sports news, an England cricket side was able to win a test series after 17 years in Sri Lanka today. They made this milestone when they won both the first test matches in the 3-match test series against Sri Lanka. And with that, we wrap up tonight's edition of Weekend Primetime News. Thank you very much for joining us. Good night.